So without further ado, introducing Robert Gimbel, CRO at Camunda. Robert, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello everyone from my side as well. I will quickly share my screen here and get things going before I start talking. Can everyone hear me and see my screen? Just put a thumbs up. Yes. Okay, great. So let's jump right in. Warm welcome also from my side, also in Berlin, very hot here. Still looking forward to an exciting 3 hours with all of you. It's great to see so many people come here, and it was great to see the mix that we have of people who are already using either the enterprise edition or the community edition of our product, and equally a lot of people who are interested to do so, but not on that track yet. That's exactly why we're having these kind of events, so that you can benefit from the interaction and learn from each other. And basically, we try to provide some insights on top. I'm going to talk about reinventing process automation for the digital enterprise.
Robert, sorry to cut you off, Stefan here. It does seem like when you're moving, your mic is hitting your collar, and that's creating some background noise.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, please let me know. I will try to limit my movements and put the microphone up. Please let me know if it persists. I was about to say that I'm going to take it from the perspective of our customers and why they are adopting Camunda and what's driving them. And a lot of that is not surprisingly related to digital transformation, as a lot of IT projects these days. And why is that? Because we can easily see the impact, and whoever will be successful in digital transformation will win in the market, and who will fail digital transformation will probably have a hard time. You can see that confirmed if you look at what IT managers or decision makers say. This is just one data point where we're looking at the next 2 years as being the critical phase for mastering digital transformation, which is incredibly short if you think about what is ahead of us. So if we summarize that, it's a big transformation that is like crucially important to master. We have very little time for it, and actually nobody knows how that really works. I would typically ask the audience, if this was a physical event, who had the perfect master plan on digital transformations in their hands. That's typically very few people. So that's a very fascinating dynamic that we are in. And I'm trying to relate that to process as automation and how we support customers in being successful on that journey. So of course, when we talk about digital transformation, process automation is a big part of it. That discipline has changed quite a bit from, if you look back 15 or 20 or even 25 years ago, the overall context has, of course, transformed in that time. The whole customer experience is way more centered around the end user in a much more digital fashion. Internally in the enterprises, we tend to have way more specialized workers than the generalist that can do everything. That's just too slow to build out these days. And if we look at the IT side and the architecture and system landscapes, things that were like just on the horizon maybe 20 years ago, like cloud native and open source, have become a reality and are basically impacting us on a daily, in our daily operations, like being cloud native and open source. We, of course, try to build our stack and product in a way that we support customers in these areas. So we do think that you need to have a process automation technology that is developer friendly and allows you to be agile. That means it needs to integrate into whatever you have, needs to provide flexibility to the teams working with it, not dictating like the one way of using it. At the same time, we need to be able to effectively collaborate with our business and understand their needs, because if we don't understand that, we can never win from an IT perspective. Open standards like BPMN and DMN have proven very successful for most of our customers to achieve that. You need a highly scalable technology for the workload of today already, because more and more is becoming automated and digitized, but also for the workload which is expected to grow exponentially for if you look at tomorrow or after tomorrow. So that's how we position and build our stack to support this for our customers. And it has proven to be quite successful over the recent years. I'm not going to go through all the history of the company, but the beauty of our technology is that it has been widely adopted these days. There's a huge community that you can benefit from, leverage the learnings. There's a lot of customers. We are basically being adopted across the globe. The beauty from our side is that this brings a lot of feedback to our product and engineering teams, which allows us to build a good customer-focused and centric product in the first place. That's very strong. This year, we kind of reached a milestone which was in the making for long. We are supporting the NASA mission that was recently launched. So we're successful once this rover is going to land on the Mars. We are supporting, or our technology is basically supporting the navigation and steering of this rover. Very exciting milestone for all of us, which is like really a great cause for us to support. Quickly looking at the industries who are adopting a technology like ours, you would find large enterprises, or at least of a certain size, who decide to invest in their own technology and software solutions to support their business. Most important for today, probably the left-hand side, which is the financial services industries. Banks have been with us from day one. We're typically adopted in the core processes like customer onboarding, loan origination, and everything that follows once a bank has brought a customer to them. So that has been with us from day one, and it's typically very fascinating use cases from a technical perspective. There's always high load involved, high complexity, because you would typically find like big existing IT landscapes that you need to cope with in these environments that we're having today. Our mission is basically provide you with a technology that allows you to automate any process anywhere. As you can see in the top, the process kind of sits in the middle and is able to connect to everything that is going on around it. That's not always all of this at the same time, but you have the flexibility to connect, for example, to your RPA pods, like you can connect to your microservices or involve humans or any sorts of APIs into your workflows. This translates into two products. The left-hand side is Camunda BPM, the enterprise platform for workflow and decision automation, which is probably the most relevant product for today's audience. That's why the meeting is focused around that. It's for large enterprises who have a bigger IT landscape. Banks tend to not move into the cloud and consume their technology as a service, which is kind of the other one. It can happen. So if you're interested in Camunda Cloud, that's the as a service variant of our product where we are hosting the technology. It's probably less relevant for a bank, but has a great future ahead of it as well. And yeah, you can of course always approach us on both. We are going to focus, as I said, on the left-hand side. Not going to go into the full detail of the stack here, also in the interest of time, and also because Ben is going to give us a walkthrough how this really looks like in practice. It's a complete platform stack from design to runtime and basically analytics components, which basically allows you to implement a solution in the first place and then improve it over time to whatever you need at a given point in time. Also very important is the guidance and support that we like to provide to our customers. The technology is one thing, but taking a customer by the hand, helping the customer to adopt and actually get the value out of a product is as important. So over the years, we have gained a lot of knowledge and best practices that we like to provide to our customers, our audiences. Yeah, in the interest of time, this is the last one that I'm going to talk about because before we jump into more detailed topics. If you decide to embark on a journey with Camunda, we always encourage you to use an agile kind of a step-by-step approach. Don't try to automate all the processes at the same time. This is very risky and takes quite a lot of time. We rather advocate for a kind of a step-by-step approach. Pick a first smaller project with less risk associated, build a first prototype, build a pilot, choose something that you can bring to production in rather 3 to 6 months than taking longer. If that proves successful, you will get the buy-in internally to take something more critical, like a department or line of business. And if you go through that process, you will build up a lot of knowledge internally, which then allows you to, go into a broader scale adoption on top of that. I hope that was insightful to kick it off. I will hand it back to Stefan now. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to Ben giving us hands-on insights into the stack itself. Enjoy the day.